It's called Digitenna. That's the name of the company, and they've been putting together an antenna. They patented a new design for it, and this is Brad Eckweiler. And Brad, you were telling me the little black box is the key to this. That's the one that's on every one of the antennas. We got a little one right down here.
Correct. In that module, we've increased a bunch of efficiencies the way we've designed it, so that, again, it allows the antenna to
be more efficient without all that hardware.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause I think the comparison out here is amazing. Now, how far are we from our towers in Milwaukee?
We're 37 miles from the towers.
Okay, so we're 37 miles away. Under normal conditions, the old VHF, the old standard antennas, that big monster that you've got over there, that would have been the antenna that people use here in the Oostburg area, right?
Typically, that is the antenna that that size of an antenna that's used in this area. And it's still commonly used by a lot of people that don't realize they don't need something like that anymore.
What are we using right now to get a signal and a picture inside the shop here? This
right now, yeah.
The one on top of this little mast?
Yeah, the one on top of that little mast.
That's it?
That is exactly it. That is all. That's what we're using, and that's the range on that particular model is 40 miles.
Okay.
So we're at the limit of it, but actually
you can't tell the difference with digital. It's either there or it's not there.
You can, yeah, exactly. Okay. However, we still have signal strengths off of that antenna right now that would support another 10 or 15 miles right now. So.
And this other one that's laying on the ground, that's the biggest one you make now?
Right now, that one is the second biggest one. The biggest one is about 12 inches longer, so it's not that much bigger.
They're relatively small, and these are small enough that I can remember growing up in Kenosha. Okay, that was between Milwaukee and Chicago, so we all had these big antennas with a rotor, and we would rotate back and forth when it was working. These are so small that on a short mast you could put two of them up, point one north and one south. You guys do that here?
Correct. In Sheboygan County, what we're doing right now is we'll take a combination of maybe this model and the model that was shown up on top of the mast here and point one north and one south, and then we combine them together. And you no longer need a rotor. And not only that, if somebody in one room in the television wants to watch Green Bay and somebody in another room wants to watch something from Milwaukee, they can now do that. Where before you had to point it in one direction. Who wins?
One or the other.
Generally, the wife won. So
yeah. Well, of course. All right. This is a good idea of exactly the size of these things. You're starting to make them now. You've been shipping them out for a couple of months, so people will be looking for them. Digitenna is the name, though.
Digitenna is the name, and we have 2 local distributors in Wisconsin, 4 throughout the country at this point. And we can provide those names and numbers later if so chosen.
The other important part is you got a bunch of people working here producing a product that looks like it has a big future.
Yes, we do.
Okay. We've got more coming up from Digitenna a little bit later on. We'll show you some of the work they do to put these things together inside this plant in Oostburg, so stay with us.